So that's what I'm asking. When do you expect the assessment to have been made?
To be obviously, I know you know this, Chair, but obviously that is a decision that it will be taken by the Metropolitan Police.
London is on the brink. We all know it. The latest development is Sadiq Khan's council backing this ridiculous painting on the streets of our biggest shopping districts saying, "Mind the grab." Taken, of course, as a play on words of that iconic Mind the Gap line on the tube. But mind the grab is referring to the fact that it is now impossible, literally impossible in central London to walk with your phone out like that without being mugged. It's happened to me twice. So you would hope that given Sadiq Khan is a very, very nefarious player in all of this, that there was someone behind him, at least, someone behind him on the crime side who genuinely had the best intentions of Londoners and genuinely was across their brief. But unfortunately, and I'm going to be very brutal about this, London has a thicko deputy mayor who has been exposed for rank incompetence, and I've got to talk about it today. This woman is called Kaya Coma Schwartz, born and raised in Islington. No surprise. She's of Zimbabwean descent. She's a total Khan sycophant who worked her way up through left-wing politics in Jeremy Corbyn's district and was eventually appointed Deputy Mayor of London for policing and crime under Khan in October 24. That same month, she had to immediately publicly apologise for calling London Assembly Chair Susan Hall, a very good woman, a racist and climate change denier during contentious pre-appointment hearings. But it's Susan Hall who has been able to expose this woman for a blithering idiot, not across her brief, not across the facts, and certainly with not a care in the world for the safety of Londoners. Remember, this woman, like Sadiq Khan, will not even admit that there are widespread Pakistani rape gangs currently operating in London, something that even the British bashing corporation now does. My friend Bernie Spofford posted of this woman. Words cannot describe how bad this is. This is London's Deputy Mayor for Crime and Policing on £148,000 a year. Her job is to oversee the police, deliver the crime plan, and cut crime. A senior job requires a capable, articulate, and intelligent leader. How on earth is this even possible? It's so absurd. Emily Hewitson, on having seen the video I'm about to show you, said, "I genuinely thought this was a skit at first, but no, that is actually the Deputy Mayor of London. No wonder the city's falling apart with her and Sadiq Khan in charge." Now, I wanted to set that up, and I also want to be very honest with you. The reason that not many people have pointed out the rank incompetence of this woman, who cannot even string a sentence together even though she's meant to be protecting us, is because they are so terrified of being called racist by the left. So I happily take that risk tonight, and I let you be the judge. Watch. Big news! Outspoken is now available as a podcast too. So please do subscribe wherever you get yours, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and make sure you rate and review. I'll take 5 stars, if you may.
Why isn't the mayor here?
Because I'm the Deputy Mayor for Police and Crime.
Yes, I know, we all know that. But since the mayor is making this decision, why isn't he here?
The Mayor has sent me as his Deputy Mayor for Police and Crime.
I've heard your statement. So tell me, when was the mayor actually told this was happening?
The Mayor has, as well as all of us, been involved in the conversations about the budget since September last year.
So he knew about the front counters closing last September, did he?
No, he knew about the need to look through the...
Yeah, no, we all know that. When was he told that the front counters were closing?
All of us, the Commissioner outlined proposals for tough choices in autumn last year.
Can you just tell me, when was he actually told, or was he asked, that they were actually closing? Was he consulted, or was he just told that the front counters were closing? Which is it?
He was consulted.
When?
We've had several meetings as we went through, as I
Okay, give
discussed
me a
in
rough idea. What month?
We saw the most developed proposal on this thing in July.
So basically, he's known about this for quite some time.
He's known about the proposal, the exact list of the proposal, similarly about the same time as we all knew.
We all knew. He's the Police and Crime Commissioner. That surprises me. So he knew at the same time as we knew, is that right?
No, we had initial meetings relatively recently, but what I'm saying is...
That's what I'm asking you. There we are. There we are. We've got down to the original question. When was that? Just how long has...
Now, let that sink in. That woman who you just saw on screen answering Susan Hall's questions is in charge of our safety, is in charge of stopping the rampant crime waves taking over London. Now, let's be fair for 1 second. Okay, could she have been having a really off day? Okay, could there have just been a case, maybe there was something going on in her life? We all have particularly bad days. But unfortunately, I'm only coming to this story today because we have seen time after time after time where Kaya Coma Schwartz proves that she should not be in any public role. Watch.
When will the assessment of the impact of that cut, if indeed the cut is made, when will the assessment of that impact be published?
Once again, Chair, I think it's difficult for me to talk about something that hasn't happened.
I know, but you can't make the decision unless you've assessed the impact it's going to make. So you must be making an assessment of the impact of it before you make that decision, because it should go that way round. So when do you think that assessment is going to be made? Because this does affect a hell of a lot of people. So that's what I'm asking. When do you expect the assessment to have been made?
Obviously, I know you know this, Chair, but obviously that is a decision that will be taken by the Metropolitan Police. I know that that's one of the reasons the Commissioner talked about the tough choices in the autumn, so that they could work up these working plans and assessment of the impact and what the mitigations are.
Yeah, you're right. I understand that. But equally, we all understand if you're going to cut the flying squad, if you're going to cut the Royal Police, whatever you're going to do, you're going to have to assess the damage that that's going to do. So approximately, when are you looking for those assessments to be out there?
Colin Frazier, I know that's painful, but I think it's really important to show it in some sense of context. But the fact that this woman is in charge of crime and policing in London is surely a huge concern.
Do you remember, Dan, about 10, maybe 15 years ago on the BBC News channel, they accidentally put a taxi driver live on air.
Guy Goma. I'll never forget it.
Mistaking him for a knowledgeable guest on the subject at hand. It reminds me a little bit of that. It's as if they've got the wrong person to sit in the chair. It's simply extraordinary. I think you mentioned 148. I've read 151. Who knows who's right? A lot of money of our
But the point
money.
is, a massive salary, about £150,000. But first, you know I never recommend anything unless I truly believe in it. And today I've got something absolutely game-changing for you. Have you ever stopped to think about how crucial comfort is, especially down there? Well, let me tell you, today's Outspoken is proudly sponsored by Sheath Underwear, the revolutionary brand shaking up men's comfort across the globe. And here's what makes it even better. Sheath was founded by a brilliant US Army veteran Robert Patton while he was serving in Iraq back in 2007. So that's right, this isn't just an underwear brand. It was designed for the toughest conditions imaginable. Patton was battling relentless heat and discomfort in full combat gear, and he thought there has to be a better way. And there is, because he created it. Let's be honest, traditional underwear just doesn't cut it anymore. Sheath's innovative dual pouch design ensures your comfort all day long, keeping things separate, cool and fresh. Imagine your essentials being comfortably cradled away from unwanted friction and heat. Trust me, it is a genuinely transformative product. I have tested it at the gym, on long days at work, and I'm telling you, once you've experienced Sheath, there simply is no turning back. They're stylish, they're supported, and they deliver unmatched comfort. It's like upgrading from economy to first class, but for your underwear. So right now, I am offering you a 20% discount. It is exclusive at sheath.com. So 20% off your entire order. All you have to do is use my special promo code Outspoken at checkout. Sheath is the perfect present, by the way, if you're looking for something for your husband, your son, your brother, or hard to buy for mates. But if you are a lady and you end up on the website, you will see there are female versions available too. This is really cool as well. Sheath, did you know, was the first official underwear of the UFC. So you can go to sheath.com or just click on the link below, enter Outspoken on checkout, and then you can thank me later when you're feeling comfortable, confident, and ready to tackle anything your day throws at you. Sheath underwear, redefining comfort one pair at a time. But now, back to the show.
It's extraordinary. It's simply extraordinary. And it speaks to, I think, the declining caliber of our mainstream politicians. It's become a riff in the last year and more that we are served by politicians who might ordinarily grace your local students' union. I think we've got a terrible problem with the caliber of politicians we've got coming through, whatever the reasons may be. I know it's a trope to say they've never done a real job, but it is a real problem. One of the hopes I have, and I'm not expressing an opinion about how the next election goes or who I'm going to vote for, but if Reform do manage to get a tsunami of new MPs into the House of Commons, they will bring with them a huge amount of real life experience, which I can't speak to the Deputy Mayor's experience. You suggest, Dan, and I've no doubt it's true, that she's lived forever in the political bubble of North London and now the Mayor's office. But she seems singularly ill-equipped, just on a basic level, to inspire any kind of confidence. Just very briefly, Dan, I was thinking ahead to a story we're going to cover later, hopefully, and I got to thinking about some of the politicians we had. This was actually in connection with that dreadful Westminster VIP sex abuse scandal. And I remember doing, when I was at GB News, a long, they were all long, opinion piece looking at Edward Heath, who was one of those names that was dragged into that, as it turned out, completely made-up story about a paedophile sex ring. Edward Heath was the son of a carpenter and a lady's maid. He went to grammar school in Oxford. He sailed around the world. He conducted the London Symphony Orchestra. He was a concert pianist. He was decorated during World War II. I mean, he then took us into the European Commission. He wasn't perfect. But my point is, what an extraordinary hinterland politicians had then. Margaret Thatcher's first cabinet, there were 3 military crosses. I know there'd been a war, and thank goodness we don't live in a time where our politicians are drawn from that wartime generation. But to see a politician like this in a really important role is simply extraordinary.
Totally, because you're right, they might not be able to be drawn from our forces, though, of course, we have had Afghanistan and Iraq veterans, indeed. But the problem seems to be, Colin, they are drawn from a tiny pool of political extremists, and especially a politician like Khan, because he has no competition. Absolutely no competition, right? So he rules City Hall in London with an iron fist, and he will only hire arch loyalists, and that is the biggest weakness, isn't it? I've always thought it's the biggest weakness of a leader, someone who isn't prepared to be challenged. And indeed, I would say, I think one of Nigel Farage's problems is the fact that he is threatened by people, as was proven by what happened with Rupert Lowe. earlier this year, because I think for reform to succeed, you're absolutely right. It's going to have to bring, what do they call it? Sort of a cabinet of champions. You know, that is going to be the way to save this
government
country.
of all the talents. Goats.
100%. 100%. Colin, though, given you mentioned Guy Goma, you know, you can't mention Guy Goma on this show without me actually watching Guy Goma, because it's probably one of my favorite moments of television ever. So, given Colin mentioned it, I am going to use the excuse to play it. This was when the taxi driver was put on BBC News speaking as an expert about Apple technology.
Music online. Well, Guy Cuny is the editor of the technology website News Wireless. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Were you surprised by this verdict today?
I'm very surprised to see this verdict to come on me, because I was not expecting that. When I came, they told me something else, and I'm coming. You got an interview there, so it's a big surprise anyway.
A big surprise.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah. With regards to the cost that's involved, do you think now more people will be downloading online?
Actually, if you can go everywhere, you're gonna see a lot of people downloading to the internet and the website everything they want. But I think it's much better for the development and to improve people what they want and to get on the easy way and so fast the things they're looking for.
This does really seem to be the way the music industry is progressing now, that people want to go onto the website and download music.
Exactly. You can go everywhere on the cyber cafe and you can check. You can go easy. It's going to be very easy way for everyone to get something to the internet.
Thank you, Cuny. Thanks very much indeed. I think we can now also speak to Rob Pitton, who's at the...
One of the best moments in British television history. What would you have done if you were that presenter, Colin?
I'd have done exactly what she did. I'm trying to bluff my way through whilst thinking this isn't right. You'd have to
raging. What producer booked this guest?
he did a better job than Kaya Koma Schwartz in answering questions.
Yes. Yes. Very, very true. Very, very
just
true.
See the wheels turning. I mean, you've done live telly, Dan. I've done live telly. You can just see the wheels turning. She's thinking something's not quite right here, but she plows on. I mean, fair play.
Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.